Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to ask the Minister of Finance which independent power-producing companies have received payment from the Government of Ghana for excess capacity charges and how much was paid to each company in the last 4 years. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Member from Tamale North, because these are very important issues of power for us as a country. Mr. Speaker, the underlisted independent producers have received payments for excess capacity charge for the period under review 2017 to 2020, totaling $937.5 million US. The breakdown is as follows: AXA $347.2 million, Car Power $359.00 million, and Cent Power $231.3 million. Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable supplementary question.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Minister's answer is in the form of a range, a period between or period under review 2017 to 2020. Will the Minister be kind enough to break it down to how much was paid for each year? How much was paid for each year? Thank you.
Honourable members, when I say that if the minister is minded, then I'm looking at it that probably the question is being shifted. So if the minister is minded, he can answer the question. Other than that, so Minister, if you think you can.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Honourable Member, thank you very much for the supplementary question. The amount, as I stated, from 2017 to 2020 totals $937.5 million US. Breakdown is as follows: AXA 2017 $35.7 million, 2018 $59.4 million, 2019 $136.8 million, 2020 $115.3 million, totaling $347.2. Car Power $65.3 million 2017, $108.9 million. I beg your pardon?
Honourable Minister, may you please speak up a bit? Please, let's have order here so that we can hear it well.
For Car Power 2017, $65.3 million, 2018, $108.9 million, 2019, $138 million, 2020, $46.8 million, coming to $359 million for the period. Cent Power, 0 for 2017, 0 for 2018, $86.5 million, 2019, $144.8 million, 2020, $231.3 million total. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister. Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Minister, for your answer. Will you be kind, Honourable Minister, to also let us know the quantity of megawatts that was determined to be excess for which these payments were made? Yes. The quantity of megawatts that were determined to be the excess for which these payments were made.
Minister, are you minded to answer?
I think it's a legitimate question, only I'm not prepared for it. And so we can bring that to... As part of measures to improve transmission reliability of power supply and expand energy to all Ghanaians, we have between January to date completed the Kasua Bulk Supply Plant Point project, which comprises the reconstruction of a section of Gridco's 161 kV Winneba Malam transmission lines and tie-in works. We have the lights are on. Advance the Volta Achimota lot of the 161 kV Volta Achimota Malam transmission line upgrade project to 85% from 83%. Connected 58 communities to the national grid as at end June 2022, with several communities at various stages of completion, and commissioned the solar irrigation project at the Ho Technical University in March 2022 to promote renewable energy systems.
Mr. Speaker, the final, based on your answers, Honorable Minister, which one is it too much?
Is asking his last question.
Which one is too much, Leader? Based on your answers provided, Mr. Speaker, and the answers that were provided by the Finance Minister related to this same question on Thursday, 17th June 2021, which remains a record of this House. Is it true or false that Ghana pays $1 billion annually as excess capacity charges?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. That is false. The figure he just quoted, 1 billion, is false. Thank you.
He says 1 billion is false. I've repeated his response. He says it's false. Yes, Leader.
This demonstration is not to topple the government. This demonstration is to indicate to Ghanaians the insensitivity of John Mahama's government. The insensitivity of John Mahama's government. This is not to topple government. We don't advocate for a regime change this way. We are going to vote next year, and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove John Mahama from power. Not do this demonstration, but the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad. If you are feeling the heat, like Ghanaians are feeling the heat, if you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, then you understand what I'm suffering. I am suffering. John Mahama is not suffering. How do you expect the members of the members as a collective to speak on your behalf when you decided to give majority to such a bad government, NBC? Ghanaians should realize that their term matters. Your term matters. Your term matters. When you go and vote, you have to know that the consequences are ahead of you for the next 4 years. The term that Ghanaians gave to John Mahama has shown that they should never again people trust John Mahama. This demonstration is not to topple the government. This demonstration is to indicate to Ghanaians the insensitivity of John Mahama's government. The insensitivity of John Mahama's government. This is not to topple government. We don't advocate for a regime change this way. We are going to vote next year, and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove John Mahama from power. Not do this demonstration, but the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad. If you are feeling the heat, like Ghanaians are feeling the heat, if you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% the members as a collective to speak on your behalf. When you decided to give majority to such a bad government, NBC, Ghanaians should realize that their term matters. Your term matters. Your term matters. When you go and vote, you have to know that the consequences are ahead of you for the next 4 years. The term the Ghanaians gave to John Mahama has shown that they should never. This demonstration is not to topple the government. This demonstration is to indicate to Ghanaians the insensitivity of John Mahama's government. The insensitivity of John Mahama's government. This is not to topple government. We don't advocate for a regime change this way. We are going to vote next year and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove John Mahama from power. Not through this demonstration. But the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad. If you are feeling the heat, like Ghanaians are feeling the heat, if you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, then you understand what I'm suffering. I am suffering. John Mahama is not suffering. How do you expect the members of the members as a collective to speak on your behalf when you decided to give majority to such a bad government, NBC? Ghanaians should realize that their term matters. Your term matters. Your term matters. When you go and vote, you have to know that the consequences are ahead of you for the next 4 years. The term the Ghanaians gave to John Mahama has shown that they should never again people trust John Mahama.
See, the funny thing is, we walk around thinking it's our right to electricity.
Isn't it?
It's not a right. It's a privilege.
I see.
It becomes a right when you are paying.
Aren't we paying?
Some are paying, others are not.
No, but
some are paying, others are not.
Don't lump it together. You're just lumping everything together, and it's not a privilege. It's our right because we've paid for it.
That's the truth. That's what I'm saying. Some, I said it earlier, some are paying, others are not. Others have tampered with the meter. It's not reading right. Someone has had a prepaid meter that he's been paying only a certain set amount every single month. It's not possible.
The energy sector, the current power cuts. Some people are saying that you made mention of this. You use this as a campaign against John Mahama, and now we are experiencing a worse situation under President Akufo-Addo. Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
If you are comparing 4 years, MPP administration energy sector is 300 times better than John Mahama.
But we are still experiencing doom so.
Nobody has said we haven't. I'm just saying it's far much better than John Mahama ever did.
You do admit that there's doom so.
That is the word you used. I have never used that word. I promised you that we are going to work on it, and it's not a work that is a single event. It's a process, and we'll continue to work on it for the energy sector to become better.
Have you heard of calls for a timetable?
Ask those who want it to bring it.
They should bring the timetable.
If there is, I haven't seen any timetable. So when
people are calling for it,
say bring a timetable, what do you mean? The ECG says that there's no timetable coming. Why do you want to bring a timetable? What purpose? Why would somebody get up and wish evil or bad for the country? When it is not planned, you can't tell the person. Were you in Ghana under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you? I'm asking a question. Did you live in it?
It was equally worse.
It cannot be equally worse.
But look, MPP use it as a tool against them.
And I'm saying that even if you are talking about that, it was worse under John Mahama than ever now.
Under my tenure as president, our challenges in the power sector became so severe. I accepted the responsibility and took some bold decisions to provide a sustainable solution to the problem. I did not throw my hands in the air in despair and blame my predecessors for the crisis. When the Akufo-Addo MPP government took over, they have disingenuously tried to take credit for the work that was done in the power sector, and they rather blamed my administration for investing in excess capacity. Today, the country has been plunged into darkness. mismanagement of our generating assets, and collateralization of the ESLA, which was meant to provide the resources to finance current and legacy debt, has led us back into doing so. The best government can do is to eat humble pie, take responsibility for the problem, and work to address it. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I'm aware that businesses and households cannot plan because of the erratic power situation. When citizens demanded for a schedule to enable them plan, which is the least that a responsible government should be doing, Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who was one of the frontline participants in the Dumso Must Stop campaign while in opposition, is reported to have said that those asking for a load shedding timetable wish ill for the country and they should publish their own schedule. This is most disrespectful to Ghanaians and the customers of electric power.
The first one is your tariff structure. Basically, the reason why you've seen tariff increases is because Ghana is selling energy to the public and to companies lower than production costs. Normally, in a balanced equilibrium mode, or in modern economies, tariffs reflect the cost. Like anything, if you build a house, you buy material for $1 million, you cannot sell the house for for $500 million. You lose money. So as an energy producer, you should be able to recover your costs, because if you don't recover your costs, who will do it for you? It's government. So that's one of the things. Tariff have to be adjusted, and there is a lot of work being done, not just a tariff structure. Yeah. Tariff adjustment is one thing, but your whole tariff system, tariff structure have to be done, and this is being worked on, and I think there's progress there. Where there's a lack of progress is in collection. You produce electricity, you sell, and then you don't collect the money. Where is the money going? Either people are stealing electricity, or some companies are not paying, and is ECG doing enough to collect? Probably not, as we see. And they recognize that. They are implementing reforms. Hopefully, we will support to improve collection. Sometimes, it's only in Ghana, governments don't pay their bills. Yeah. But here, I think, again, as part of these whole things, there's debt from a long time. Some governments, some ministries don't pay, and government has to get tough. You get your budget, you pay your bills. Otherwise, there are consequences. So collection is another thing. And technical losses. Technical losses is when you produce, you distribute electricity, and because either the cables are old, the infrastructure is old, then it gets lost somewhere there. And this requires investment. So these three things are important. But another one, in the case of Ghana, is those contracts that you've signed, those PPAs, are just too expensive. Too expensive, and the kind of PPAs you sign is take-or-pay, which means Ghana is paying to the electricity that is not even being produced. Yeah. You have double capacity. Yes, over time, usage will improve, so your excess capacity will go down. But the fact is, in the last few years, Ghana entered into some PPAs that were the wrong types, in our view, and at the wrong rates, at the wrong prices, and today you are paying dearly for it. And also, it has an impact because today we're talking of clean energy. Yeah. Many companies want to come to Ghana to do, solar and all. Yeah, government wants probably the best thing to do, but you are still caught up with those that you have to pay because you are tied up in these contracts. So you will take new ones, you will pay them, you have to pay the other ones. So there's really an urgent need to restructure these contracts. I know that government has entered into negotiations with some of them. I think there's a long way to go.
On 1st January 2017, the dollar CD exchange rate was 4 cedis, 14 pesos to the dollar. Today, or yesterday, 4th June, the exchange rate was 11 cedis, 193 pesos to the dollar. Remember, power purchase agreements are signed in dollars, in USD, and therefore payment is in USD. ECG's collection is in cedis. And therefore, when we mismanage the exchange rate, or when we poorly manage the economy, resulting in a deteriorating exchange rate, it impacts our ability to pay for the power we generate. I would have expected the World Bank country director to have placed more emphasis on managing the economy efficiently in order to create a stable exchange rate. The exchange rate between this period has virtually tripled. And must the PPA be the reason for the deteriorating exchange rate? The deteriorating exchange rate rather affects the tariff in the PPA. The World Bank and the IMF and the Ministry of Finance have failed to manage an efficient economy. They failed to run an economy that creates confidence to warrant a stable exchange rate. The exchange rate is a major driver of high tariffs on the domestic scene. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will really want the World Bank country director to come again. Rather than throwing partisan or seemingly partisan punches, his intervention should bring us together to find solutions to the power sector challenges and not to create a political divide when we need to pull together. As I have indicated, I have shown that his statement is factually inaccurate and does not inure to the good of Ghana. He should come again, he should have a holistic picture, and we will engage. I speak here as the former Minister of Power, under whose signature a number of these PPAs came before Parliament. It is important that Ghanaians know that we have exhausted our major hydro potential. We have no potential for major hydro again. Whatever dams we will construct in the future will be small dams, and therefore the unit cost and the tariff will be high. But hope is not lost. We should be looking at
cause of Dumsor, and Dumsor has been caused by the financial and economic mismanagement of this government, and so we shouldn't be giving them credit for solving a problem that they have solved.
On not be on the first way. I'm the light out. Munni, I crack away. I can say when to Munni, won't me find this solution. Be a mobile so light a man colano on the survive.
I was supposed to go and visit my child around 4 a.m. this morning. So when I went there, I couldn't find my child, and the doctor told me to wait outside. So I was outside, and he came that they are sorry because I've lost my child due to the lights out last night.
The hospital is experiencing power outages, causing dissatisfaction among nursing mothers.
Ghana and Ivory Coast, the comparison has been going on for a while. Darkness in Ghana, lights in Ivory Coast. Projects in Ghana delaying, projects in Ivory Coast going on. Your opponents say Ouattara is better than Mahama. And that's why Ghana and Ivory Coast as neighbors seem to have the situation where Ivory Coast is a better country. You are in a better place to tell us that you've been to Ivory Coast, they actually gave you a national award. You know about the ECOWAS situation. Why are we lagging behind Ivory Coast?
You used a very wrong word, lagging behind. We're not lagging behind Ivory Coast. And I normally don't like to compare, but we definitely are not lagging behind Ivory Coast. If you take the UN Human Development Indicators, aside from Cape Verde, Ghana is second in the whole of West Africa in terms of access to water, in terms of, all the various human indicators that are given. Ghana is second. If you take the size of economy, Ghana has the second largest economy. Cote d'Ivoire is third. Like
Ghana
I said,
is second after Nigeria.
Yes, after Nigeria. Ghana has the second largest economy in West Africa. And so I normally don't like those comparisons because each country is at a different stage in its development. And the circumstances in each country are peculiar.
But until recently, they had light, we didn't have light.
Well, Cote d'Ivoire has gone through its own period when they didn't have lights. We've had to exchange power. At times when they don't have, we have given them. At times when we don't have, they give us. And so it's not something new. Since the 70s, our two power systems have been interconnected with each other. Ghana had a Kosombo, which we thought would never, finish. And so we had excess power. And so we used to give Togo, Benin, we used to give Cote d'Ivoire. Unfortunately, the results of climate change have changed things. And aside from that, it's a sign of our growing economy. Our economy has grown so fast that demand for power has ballooned. And we had not been consistent in putting in, enough generation to meet the demand. Aside from that, while demand was increasing, power from our hydro sources has been going down because of the low level of the lake, because of climate change, less rainfall and all that. So it's been a very complex situation, but I normally don't want to place blame. I took responsibility to fix it, and I believe that we do have some stability in our system now.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 18th day of April 2024. By His grace, we are live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. GJ's 75th anniversary launch. Journalists must be fearless, says Sam Jonah. Ministry invites proposals for Saglemi Housing Project. Our form first representative government in nation's history. Alan pledges. The Ghanaian Times. 9-party alliance for revolutionary change to contest 2024 polls. Alan Cash leads PAC. Works and Housing Ministry invites bids to revive Saglemi Housing Project. 2 UK museums return Asante Royal objects. President Akufo-Addo Asante inaugurates key energy projects in Ashanti region. Daily Guide. 4 caged over missing EC equipment. Tamale delegation visits Munster to strengthen ties. Nana appoints new accountant general. Let's support women. Baumia. Man remanded for robbing ex-second lady. The New Crusading Guide. Alan fights for ARC. Focus on women empowerment for inclusive development, Bawumia to CEOs. Joaboso NPP communication team commends government of a new cocoa price. KGL thriving on good corporate relationship, Alexa Powell Dade. Supremo woodworkers threaten face-off with concession and encroaches. Sam Jonah challenges journalists to uphold truth, independence, and accountability. Leverage trade to achieve development in Africa's agri sector, Dr. Edwini Kessi. The Insight. Great Alliance for Change Outdoor. Leader Alan Chirmantin promises to form all-inclusive government. Looming threat of regional war in West Asia. SMG calls for urgent action to ensure de-escalation of tension between Iran and Israel. Over 800 public health experts signed letter demanding ceasefire in Gaza. KGL Foundation holds Eat First food drive in Tamale, feeds over 1,000 people. Produce judgment now. Obuade Tetega family to National House of Chiefs as it accuses body of bias. The Daily Statesman. VIP champions women empowerment to harness their talents for inclusive development. NPP opens first ever Persons with Disabilities Secretariat. Government moves to redevelop Saglemi housing units. YE boss, we are dedicated to reshaping Ghana's employment landscape. Dankwa Institute, NPP has managed Ghana's debt better. You guys just can't help getting people upset and angry every day. And I read the analysis. I couldn't just believe the level of intellectual dishonesty in this analysis that has been made. Even in the face of DDEP, you have the nerves to speak like this. The new finder. RFP for Saglemi issued, inviting private companies to complete houses. Asante urges government to allow private investment in ECG, Gridco, and VRA. I'll form a truly representative government, Alan. President commissions 150 megawatt plant to stabilize power supply in Ashanti region. Daily Post. You will account for your deeds. Mahama warns Akufo-Addo's officials. Court remands man for robbing former second lady. Honorable Jocelyn Tete donates 100 bags of cement to Vakpo Senior High School. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Fortune rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tie no pepepe. Ye the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Dana mo ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi enkratuo yatum.
Welcome to Helcom. In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for interns. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
After I'm on a line, ting.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download their app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Miss Seth, I'm starting work next month.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
Subscribers have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
Her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa.
Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling to Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
The biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy, and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories, and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503 244 266 or 0535 339823. Nado Motofix. Wokwain Sunyonko Papa.
Hey, give it to me. Hey, man. One time. Stop. Ah, enough you guys do. Continue.
Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis. And you could win 26 times your stake on the exciting new Pick 1 game from Game Pack. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Pack app on www.gamepackgames.com. Choose your Pick 1 number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Pack. Game Pack, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
Our stories begin right here, and we never write them alone. There'll be pages we love to read again and again. and some we want to tear out. They are stories of dreamers, stories of creators, stories of strivers, stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters, APSA.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bi pe, emu no nkekamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mom metie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede. Ma emu eduane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
And then you share her. Now the Ghana for her the name to Obama MPP. Now the Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And no man there that this was so by why ye? Or stay at the ayo. Ebu Bako. Eti na 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 no me de baba ha ne mo ahia. Na do dan kwa Akufo-Addo bedi ye mampanyin. Minstro enemaka. Se mpotam bia ni ho a da na koma so cha Asanteman. Asanteman ni na di ni ye. Ena ono so ya atena atetena pa. Tina ye na wiye ba ha. Ani fefewe ebi si ye ba mu hada. Ebi si Asanteman da. Na do dan kwa Akufo-Addo nti ebi asi na wiye. No kre obinya sebia anko obeye bi obinya sebia o tibi nya bi nti ena de osua wasa no osa no wachia nepa Ghana bali bebre adwo we bi asi ho eso obi amusa se aden na ekọ ho ebi se soja ama Ghana hira esi wa kosombo Kwame Nkrumah breso esi wo akuse e champion abreso ebua esi wo bui president Kofo abreso esi e wo takrade president Rollins abreso ade na do dan kwa Akufo-Addo de esi de si Kumasi a o si Kumasi fo ade na ye bie na bi Ghana na ye chechire Ghana e na ye chechire sa ene awie ya ba he sa anyinam kane ya ye bie he se de VI fo kan no sa anya nukrani brodibaka every 2014 and agreed ko fu di VI fo nyina hu se pese enyam kane agina ya e wo se ehia se eye bi wo Ghana mfifiri ha Asanteman mu nyina enso so menka se obi mpeso oyo de waye ne ye bodidin de waye enna na do dankwa Akufo-Addo na we kra de eso ni fifty asienie sanana no mo hwe wa chinjo wa chia ane fa ha asase a agoma so ni mpanyifo ade ama ban a yesi ya bagani energy no 800 megawatts mempa ebo abebo ande se na do dankwa Akufo-Addo na di da so yi na ni so ade ehuin I ne wabɛte ho yi asadefoɔ bɛyɛ ne asadefoɔ bɛhyɛ n'animonyam ama abaayɛ bɛtoa yi na nanu Dankwa Akufo-Addo party no asadefoɔ aka sɛ ɔse adeɛ your party deɛ yɛde mu a na yɛ dɛ ɛkɔ mutio.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And for our viewers who don't understand Twi, I'll see if I'll get my panelists. I have two panelists who are through and through Twi speaking people. I'll try and see if they can translate it. Okay, I'm half fancy, but this is Twi. We'll do that. But we'll be on the show this morning. I have the Member of Parliament for the Anyaso-Utuom constituency, who's also a medical practitioner, Dr. Dixon Adumaku Kisi. Doc, good morning.
Morning.
Right.
Morning.
He's also a member of the Public Accounts Committee. Yeah. Also with me on the show this morning is the man who is responsible for special duties. What constitutes special duties? Yes. I don't know. I can ask him for you. But he's here. He does that on behalf of the NDC.
Like ways and means.
Yao Broja Jemfi.
Special duties. I'm good. I hope you're fine too.
It sounds like ways and means when it comes to sports.
There are duties that are special to the party.
That's why it's ways. That is why it is ways and means. Ways and means. Yeah.
Ways and means connote something sinister.
Yes. Negative.
So is that what you
positive,
do?
No. Positive.
Positive outcome.
Duties, yes.
You get it?
Anyway, well, if you're looking for a toothpaste that will take care of all the family and save you money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mints gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. You can call Samara Company Limited on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. And climbing the stairs could be very challenging, especially when you are not exercising, irrespective of your age. But worry no more, because lifts and elevators have got you covered. With the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakuman or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. All right. So, Roger, you are a Kumasi and an Ashanti, in fact, a Swami and an Ashanti man.
Yes.
You guys held the presser.
Yes.
About this Kumasi something one. I've forgotten the full thing, and you raised a lot of issues. Yesterday we had the opportunity of discussing this issue, but the launch happened yesterday, and we just saw a video of the energy minister. Speaking about the president and something that the president has done which is unprecedented as far as Ashanti is concerned. And he speaks, correct me if my translation is wrong or my understanding of what he said is wrong. He talks about how Kwame Nkrumah did Akosombo Dam and speaks about how head of state General Champon did the Kpong. Speaks about how President Kufuor did Bui, speaks about how President Rawlings did a Takrady. I'm sure he was speaking about the T1, T2. And then he says that Nana Akufo-Addo has also done the Kumasi something one project. That Obinyanka, I mean, Obe, but when to be honest, he said it and he's done it.
Well, Doc,
did I get it?
Yes. I think that's precisely what you were saying. So you are not far from right. That's what he said. And that's very surprising. But let me say good morning to our viewers this morning. And good morning to Doc, too. Doc, you see, you referred to the press conference that was organized in Kumasi by the regional communications outfit of the party. And I think that the position that was espoused at the press conference has been vindicated. You know, all of this issue about the relocation of Ameri, as we know, has very little to do with what we are told it was about by the VRA. Because we are told that there are some transmission losses and that they needed some plants in the middle belt so that it can serve that zone. And that was going to save Ghana some, I think, $4 million or so per annum in terms of transmission losses. But we knew that this was merely a political tool that the NPP wanted to use to deceive the people, one, and to appropriate the legacy of former President Mahama. And those who understand the tree as you rightly interpreted would know that what we said, we knew what we were talking about. Because, look, the Ameri power plant is a huge project that has come to save.
But before you get to that, I find something quite baffling. How can any person situate what happened in Kumasi yesterday within the context
of what in Nkrumah,
of Akosobo Dam, Pond Dam, Bui Dam, T1, T2? I mean, I want to appreciate how what happened yesterday falls within that category.
Look, I was going to deal with that, but let me deal with that now. You see, what the Minister of Energy did yesterday, and as you have played, is very, very unfortunate. And for me, it smacks of dishonesty. Because in the face of the facts, in the face of what people know to be true, a Minister of State who is in charge of our energy sector cannot be speaking like that. And for me, one thing that I found very, very uncharacteristic of an Ashanti is when the Otumfuo is Otumfuo had attended a program even before with the president. What he said as Obinya Sebi and Kobe, that's a very let me say divine appellation of the Otumfuo that you don't give to anybody on the soil. So when the Otumfuo sit in state, you would see that they play the flute and then people, you know.
And maybe within that context, he was talking about politicians.
I think that it was uncalled for, and I think that he should not have even done that. But back to the facts. Ameri was brought by former President Mahama under the NDC regime. And it is part of that project that is being relocated to Kumasi. So how do you equate that to the Bui Dam, to the Pond Dam, to, even
in doing that, if you want to place it in that context, you do not place the 250 megawatts that was brought, that was installed, that had a BOT, that ended, and which has become a property of the government of Ghana. You don't situate that one. But the 6 units
which is just 150.
That have been taken
megawatts.
Away and placed in Kumasi at a cost of $38 million.
Yes.
Is that which is unprecedented and falls within the space of Bui and Akosombo and Bon and T1, T2.
So, Doc, first of all, this relocation, for me, I don't see the benefit of it when I analyze what the VRA was saying.
Why?
Because we are told that we are going to save $4 million per annum for this relocation, and some 31 million power exports, which we know the president has ordered that we should stop exporting power.
At least for now.
For now. But if you want to look at it from the point of $4 million per annum, and we spend $38 million to transport it, what that means is that it will take us 10 years, close to 10 years, to be able to recover the cost of the transportation.
Maybe it might be wrong in analyzing that in that way, because you see, I think that the technical people, the engineers, and those who understand that space, and I think that I agree with them that there's the need to boost our capacity in the middle belt.
Look, I think you are not getting my argument.
No. What
I'm saying,
the point I'm driving at is that it might be, for want of a better word, simplistic to just look at it from the point of view of the 4 million, and not the efficiency of power supply in that belt.
Okay, so what I'm driving at is that the cost of transporting the plant does not make sense.
Oh yeah, we can interrogate that.
Yes, that's the point I want to
that
make.
That can be interrogated.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to do that comparison.
Yeah. That can be interrogated.
Yes.
Yeah. People have raised issues, the sole sourcing, the whatever. Yesterday, the Honorable Edward Bauer spoke about the fact that it was 20-something when they met VRA. VRA said they had gone to 38, and that day VRA had a capacity to do it. Yet they were sidelined. So for me, that's another conversation that can be had. Yeah.
Yes, but it's all part of this conversation. So, Doc, what happened in Kumasi yesterday? It exposes the deficit in our governance system. That we, as politicians, must recognize that governance is continual. You come to do what you can do best to help the country. When you leave, it is expected that the government that takes over will continue and give due credit to what was done before. It is John Mahama who procured the Ameri plant. That can never be erased from our history. And that can never be taken away from John Mahama. And the conditions under which he was able to secure that deal for Ghana, for me, it tells how visionary John Mahama is. Because at that time, John Mahama could have gone for maybe renting a power plant, and after the 5 years, they would have carried their plant.
That was one of the arguments that were made against this Ameri. That we could have opted for that, yes, and not a BOT, and that was too expensive.
I mean, a project that government contributed close to nothing in establishing this plant, because this Africa, what do you call it, Middle East company, Ameri, put together their own financing. Of course, government helped in getting them an LC of 10% of the entire project. And we didn't pay anything for it. They just had to come and operate and recover their monies. And in 5 years, this plant has been given to us. This is a property of Ghana. And that is an occasion
and on the basis of that, we now have something to use to solve a problem.
Exactly. And the fact that Ameri is giving us 20%, close to 20% of our total generation capacity should tell you how visionary John Mahama was at the time in getting us this particular plant. So if you go to Kumasi and talk about how President Akufo-Addo has been faithful to Ashanti, which is a lie, barefaced lie. President Akufo-Addo has been very wicked to the people of Ashanti. Almost all the promises that he made to Ashanti has not been delivered. The interchanges that have appeared in all the 7 budgets that this government has made, none of them has materialized.
But they are in various stages of completion. They are various stages of completion.
When you put on the tracker that a project is at 0% status, that's at a level of completion.
But none of the interchanges is at 0.
Oh.
None of them is at 0.
They promised that they were going to do an interchange at Angloga Junction.
Really?
Yes. Not even a sword has been cut for it.
Okay.
They promised an interchange at the as part of the Sofo Line project at Bekwai Roundabout.
Mm-hmm.
Not groundbreaking ceremony.
But the Sofo Line interchange itself is ongoing.
Sofo Line interchange was at I believe was at 10 or 15% when President Kufuor left office.
Uh-huh.
It is the NDC that completed the Sofo Line flyover.
Mm-hmm.
It was left with some peripheral roads, the opening of the roads leading to Ebuakwa and the opening of the roads.
So have those ones
leading
done?
The opening of the roads leading to Ebuakwa is still under construction.
Okay.
And the last time I even passed there was no contractor on that road. Swami, they have moved many of the artisans. You can't see any significant project done there. I think it's around the mark.
So you use significant, it means that something has started.
You see, when you get to the roundabout, there's nothing happening on the roundabout. It is on your way from Macro to Bremen that you see that they are doing some digging there.
So at least
nothing significant has happened. You remember that the president made a statement yesterday that he said, insulting people who are criticizing his government, that he's praying that those who cannot see anything in his government will open their eyes wide and see. He made a similar statement when he was cutting sword for the Swami interchange. And at the Swami interchange, the energy minister sounded almost like what he did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we have not seen the Swami interchange. So some of these things, we tend to bastardize our predecessors and what they do, their contribution. What John Mahama did in solving our energy sector problem, though I can say that it will take a very long time to have a leader who will be so much committed and selfless to deal with a problem that has a root cause in generation. That we know that Dumso was not the making of John Mahama. We know that because of the inability of successive governments to diversify our energy generation from the hydro to thermal. President Rawlings started something. President Kufuor in 2007, when we went into an emergency situation, he also procured emergency plants. When it came, industry experts described those plants as toy generators. President Mahama, confronted with a similar situation, has produced an emergency power plant which has come to solve a permanent problem for us. And you go and stand in Kumasi and try to appropriate it when just 150 megawatts of the overall 250 megawatts that is being transported to Kumasi. What was there even for the commissioning? When Ameri was brought to Ghana, it was commissioned. It is the same power plant which has been dismembered.
But it's a different project.
Part of it. It's not a different project. It's the same power plant.
No, it's a different project.
Is it? How is it a different project?
Because it's now situated in the middle belt.
I mean, how?
Yeah.
I mean, how?
Can I come in?
This. Look, I think
unfortunately, we cannot take a part of Akosombo or Bui or Pong anywhere else.
Uh-huh. Of course. So it tells you that John Mahama was visionary, and he could think about a project that would be sustainable even in an emergency situation. he still got it right.
My view yesterday
for the people of Ghana.
My view yesterday was that these are routine things that are done by VRA and Greco. I did not understand the kind of fanfare and presidential thing that we were trying to do. But of course, what happened yesterday then really betrays what the intent was, because anything to improve electricity distribution, whatever, VRA and Greco and things, they do huge projects even bigger than this in many, many parts of the country. And it's routine.
Yes. So, Doc, I think that the energy minister,
to be honest,
way
if I were in that region, and the energy minister tells me that the president promised to do this.
Yes, he said it's one. The reason for the gathering, is that the president has come to deliver a promise. The president
promised to do this. Where was that?
Yes.
And two, that falls within the if you want to call the elite group of Akosombo and Gbon and Bui and T1, T2. Obviously, I'll feel very insulted.
But not even
because if you tell me this, what you're trying to tell me is that I can't.
Even in terms of the benefit that the country gets from installed capacity, you cannot compare Bui to the Ameri plant.
Well,
Ameri has been very consistent in terms of giving us power. No, but what the point I'm making is that comparison would even be out of place, let alone to appropriate.
No, I guess the point he was making was that he was trying to point to
some legacies,
power sources,
yes,
by previous leaders. So Nkrumah associated with Akosombo, Achampon, Bui, Kufuor,
it was obvious.
T1, T2, Rollins,
Mahama
then Kumasi, obviously Mahama Zero. Kumasi, T1, Akufo-Addo.
This was a vice presidential statement, though. And I'm sure after this statement, Bawumia will not take long to name his running mate.
You cannibalize my car and take my car door to go and fix on somebody's door and say that you have done something that nobody has done before. Anyway, Doctor, maybe you can give us a surgical perspective of this issue.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say also a hello to our viewers. You have a huge following, I must say.
We thank God
and
all of you.
In fact, I'm sometimes impressed where I go and where I hear about your show. So kudos and keep up the good work you do. You know, I'm of a very different opinion.
Right.
I think Ghanaians, I always say this, we fail to appreciate our small milestones. And that one is a cultural thing. You know, we find it difficult to be happy when our child is crawling. We find it difficult to be happy when our child is walking. We find it difficult to celebrate these things. And for me, whether small or large, I think that definitely the energy deficit in Ashanti region, which is quite huge compared to Accra, because of my relations in Ashanti region and the challenges they've had with power outages. Whatever we're experiencing in Accra, trust me, it appears that Ashanti region is quite worse. So I see this as a step in a very good direction. Now, one thing I wanted to add to this is that the relocation, mind you, would come with transfer of expertise to the region. And that is where I'm even more excited.
Whose expertise?
You know, the
VRA.
You know,
it's the same VRA people.
Yes, but on ground.
The VRA is in Ashanti.
Maybe you're not appreciating what I'm saying.
Okay.
The people that manage the Ameri, you know, will be an additional workforce.
It's the same VRA.
No, but are you going to say that they are not additional technicians will not go to Kumasi.
Well, I cannot.
I mean, and I think that it is going to get more attention, and in a way, is a path towards relieving Ashanti region of its energy crisis. And I, for one, from a managerial standpoint, appreciate the fact that this bold step in the right direction, it cannot be discounted. I will plead with you, with the greatest of respect, that we appreciate the fact that this monumental move, or let me say, attention being given to Ashanti region's deficit, I think it's in the right step. If we had an energy minister or a president who, one, was not sensitive to the Ashanti regional energy crisis, then that would be a different thing. But here's a case where the president sees this as a serious problem for Ashanti region and makes it something that he goes to sit in to, as it is, see how this transition or relocation goes through, and to remind Ashanti region that their problems are his problems. And that is what I see in all of this, because honestly speaking, there's a lot of noise about, quote unquote, the president not necessarily being in bed with Ashanti region. And I think that for me, from a political standpoint, the more visitations that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo gives to Ashanti region, the better for us. In terms of the PR side, in terms of the visibility in Ashanti region, and I think that for me, between now and December, I would encourage Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to visit Ashanti region more and more and more. And let me add that, listen, any presidential visit, there are two things that the place benefits from. And you know this. One, leadership in Ashanti region gets to remind the president of, quote unquote, promises made. I'm very sure that the interchanges that are not being completed will be discussed during this visit, true or false. Once he's there, Obeni, Anamebwa, it will come up. And that is why I'm very happy about this visitation, because it will bring to the front burner many of Ashanti region challenges, which people may think are not relevant to the president. So I'm looking at this visitation as very needed. I'm looking at this as a good start to address the power deficit in Ashanti region, and I think that this also shows that the presidency is taking this very serious, and I think that it is appropriate because the energy minister is also from the region, and two, everybody can attest. And this one, I'm even happy that the narrative, and let me be very careful with my choice of words. The narrative isn't that because he's energy minister, he's taking this to Ashanti region. The narrative is that what he has taken, the 150, is not even enough. True or false? Which just even encourages me that more has to be done for Ashanti region with regards to energy. So I see this as a very good step in the right direction to relieving Ashanti region of its energy challenges, because VRA will now, have, let me say, the added need to, make Ashanti region their baby, and to expend time, resources on Ashanti region to address Asanteman and Semsem. So I'm very positive. I'm very happy, and anybody in Ashanti region should be happy at any point in time when the president visits a Ashanti region. I'm here wishing for even a visit from, some of these big donors to our country, because when and if Joe Biden should touch ground in Ghana, George Bush came and we have George Bush Highway. Another visitation, if Biden should come, we don't know. Maybe we'll get another major breakthrough. So these presidential visits are very important use, and I think that I'll be very modest in terms of my choice of words. I think that though maybe small in terms of the quantum of energy that this will provide for the region, it is still a positive move, and it just also proves that more needs to be done with our energy sector. And let me be very frank with all of us. I weep because clearly we have unstable electricity supply in this country. I won't go into the nitty-gritties of why and what, because clearly, I mean, at the end of it all is financial challenges. And I think that we've politicized energy too much. We need to come to terms, both parties, if we really wish development for the nation, and to demystify the energy challenges and be very clear to both parties and the world that these are the true Ghanaian needs. This is our path to it, and untie it from politics, because I think we're not doing Ghana a good service in terms of our energy crisis and our energy need. And
you should be addressing the energy minister.
No. I'm here
because what is more partisan and to a large extent dishonest than taking 6 units of 10 units that your predecessor brought in. And I always say that I will even leave out all the commentary about that thing.
Okay.
What people who are using it today to make a claim to fame, what they said about it. I will even leave that on the side.
Okay.
But if, like I said, if you have your vehicle and I pick a part of your vehicle to go and do something, and I claim that I've done something unprecedented.
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm talking.
You don't get the point. That's why I say your tree is better than mine.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm also making a case.
No, I'm saying that the case you're making, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that a clear and classic example of what you are asking us not to do is what we just saw. We just watched the energy minister do.
I want to go. And
to an extent, the president himself.
Yes.
I am making a case here for all of Ghana. I mean, let me be very clear with you that I'm admitting that our energy sector needs are way above any political party. And I think that if we really want to solve this, we need both parties at the table. And we need to table out that true solution, irrespective of government,
right?
And because this issue is bigger than any party, and I really think that at the end of the day, the ordinary Ghanaian is the one suffering, and that is why
there's little the people of Ghana can do in all of this.
No,
because if we can entertain such dishonesty at that level, no wonder. Look at how ECG is behaving. You put off lights without informing people, and when you are
contrary to the law,
when you are queried, you say that it's because of transformer overload.
In fact,
PURC,
under the watch of the energy minister, you have ECG and Gridco, 2 entities under his watch, trading accusations. When the Ghanaian who is buying prepaid and the Ghanaian who should be served is being underserved. Is being shortchanged.
Yes.
And you have the two agencies fighting accusations.
And the minister said we should do our own timetable. And for anywhere in the world, the ECG MD will not be going to the office today.
No. I think.
How can you look in the face of Ghanaians and lie? Issue a statement that because of transformer overload. When PRC investigated the data that
I think we're not being fair to the ECG boss. Wait.
If I don't make the point, how do you examine that I'm being fair or unfair?
I want to help you.
Let me
in the sense that
the point
in the sense that this ECG boss has told Ghanaians that many governmental institutions owe him.
Yes, that's another issue. That's another issue.
But he didn't have to tell us that.
What I'm saying
is another issue.
He has made a lot of
police, and it's the same. Listen,
you can't then just
listen. Look, you have the report here. The PRC report.
No. But what I'm saying is,
if you study this report, this man should not be going to the office.
No, you're not being fair.
How do you look in the face of Ghanaians and lie that Dumso is because of transformer?
Have the truth.
When only three out of the 647 Dumso situations we have had is as a result of.
No, I think you're not being fair.
How can you?
All right, okay.
And you will survive because what the minister is doing.
Let's not digress.
We won't digress, but let me be very clear here that please, the ECG has made Ghanaians.
Have you read this?
This is one of.
No, I'm saying, have you read this report?
I haven't read in entirety, but I have a different opinion on how they've approached this really. Because I think that yes.
No, I'm dealing with the findings.
Consumer protection is very important.
This is the regulator.
I understand, but you are
not worried from where you were trained.
Yeah.
From where you were trained.
Yeah.
Do you think that the utility company will even dare not comply with directives of the regulatory authority?
It shouldn't be the case.
No, would you think they will even dare?
It shouldn't be the case, but.
And if you add this to the fact that which group was which of the
CSOs
which of the top fives were asked to audit the ECG thing? One of the top 5 auditing companies.
KPMG
was it KPMG? One of them. KPMG or PwC, one of them. You know that report that we were then told that initially we were told that look, the people have presented a report. The president should make it public.
Yes.
It became an issue, and then we saw a statement from the presidency,
KPMG.
We saw a report from the presidency that said that yes, the president has received it, he's studying it, he will make it public.
Yes.
It has been 2 weeks now. Yes. It's not been made public. People have had, obviously people have sources, they've had their whatever. And then they also are quoting the auditors are saying that there was also non-cooperation. Many of the documents that they asked for, information that they asked for,
not given to them.
It was not given to them, and it's in that report. You understand me? Now, if you add that to this non-compliance of a regulatory authority. That's why I asked you. If you look at the issue of the cash waterfall mechanism, which is under auspices of the vice president.
Yes.
It's under the auspices of the vice president.
Yes, it is.
Yes, the ECG, according to this report,
I'm listening.
has defaulted from August of last year. When they were giving this directive in March, then they paid that for March. But from August to February, it's still outstanding, the cash waterfall mechanism. And from this report, they are saying that it's in excess of $400 million.
No, ECG is a whole huge issue that we'll deal with. We are going to deal with it as a party. What's going on at ECG?
And I'm saying that all these things are happening. And we yesterday, I think it was Edward Bow made a point that perhaps now the biggest threat to our very survival is our energy sector debt and situation.
Yes.
Because we will not forget that the IPPs refused to go under DDEP.
Yes.
So their debt situation is still intact. And we are worsening it by these actions.
Yes. And the handlers are being this, and they don't really care what will happen, whether Ghana will go off
And the best thing we can do is that when you are going to take 6 units of a plant and send it somewhere, then we are doing
No, but I think that, like I said, we need to.
What did the man do that
small milestone
people will envy to also do? Our energy. Nothing, zero. Nothing. He has not brought in any plant. He has not added a single megawatt of power generation
but when we have
to our energy
excess capacity. How do you then add on?
And then they still go about appropriating projects of John Mahama and claiming that people will be envious of what he has done. What has he done? That's very annoying and nauseating.
Look, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Ghana Journalists Association launched their 75th anniversary.
Wow.
This year, the association will be 75 years.
Where's the cake?
Oh, not yet. Now, Sir Sam Jonah delivered the keynote address. And I have 2 reports. One is a Daily Graphic report filed by Daniel Kenu. Kenu, how are you? Long time no see. Okay. It says, a statesman, Sir Dr. Sam Jonah, has called on journalists to be fearless, courageous, and not compromise when defending the national interest. The entrepreneur and chief executive officer of Jonah Capital, a Pan-African investment firm, stressed that the success of the country's democratic path would depend crucially on how free the press was. And speaking at the launch of the 75th anniversary of the GJA in Accra yesterday, Sam stated that the GJA was more than a collective of individuals, but a symbol of the nation's resilience, aspirations, and unwavering pursuit of progress. Quote, inspired by the legacy of our forebears and the timeless call of Yenara Assassini, let us forge ahead united in purpose and resolute in our commitment to the ideals of your noble profession. It is my hope and prayer that you become a beacon of truth, integrity, and national pride, today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. He reminded journalists of their training to be wary of being overly optimistic or drearily pessimistic, but to look carefully at the facts, the source, the context, and any motive. Quote, trust but verify. And when you have your who, what, where, why, and how, do not be afraid to publish the truth. It is better to tell the truth, that offense, than look on timidly, sheepishly, and cowardly as the country's interest is captured for the benefit of a few. 75 years, I was speaking on a team, 75 years of excellence in journalism, honoring the past, embracing the present, shaping the future, and he called on journalists to rise to the occasion to uphold the values that have defined the noble profession to hopefully continue to be the beacon of hope and accountability the nation relied upon. He says it's worthy of note that journalism, while it may propel diligent investigators, analysts, and writers to great heights, is not a profession for the lily-livered, the deceitful, or the greedy. And the GG was established on August 15, 1949, at a time when politics was at its turbulent peak and the minds of many media practitioners and ordinary citizens were filled with events of the nationalist struggle. And a number of activities have been lined up to mark the anniversary, including lectures and symposia in 3 regions, Greater Accra, Ashanti, and Volta. And the activities will be climaxed in August this year. And some of the personalities who graced the launch were the caretaker Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah, former majority leader of HMN Sabunsu, Managing Director of the Graphic Communications Group Limited at Tuafo, the former editor, graphic and member of the National Media Commission, Kobi Asma, communications consultant Nana Kwesi Jana-Pentin, who also chaired the occasion. And using Dr. Fremamu's patriotic song, Yenara Assassini, he said the rendition was not only a clarion call to patriotism, stewardship, unity, and a reminder of the ideals the nation ought to embody, but a beacon guiding the nation back to the path of integrity and collective action. He said, in an era where the essence of democracy and the fabric of society were tested, all needed to recommit to the principles that Fremamu so eloquently espoused. Quote, I implore you to be the standard bearers of objectivity, the architects of informed discourse, and unyielding defenders of freedom and truth. And he charged all citizens to be concerned about some disturbing developments in the national discourse, saying the perceived weaponization of state agencies against opponents, the creeping assault on freedom of the press, the perceived lack of trust in the dispensation of justice, and the pathetic lack of accountability in the protection of the public purse was the time for patriots to find their voices. And he bemoaned the increasingly polarized media landscape, which had left little room for neutrality. He cautioned that the polarization threatened the very ethos of journalism, which, like the clergy and the teaching profession, was a calling that demanded integrity and a commitment to truth. So the role of journalists as a fourth estate was a cornerstone of democracy and their duty to hold power to account. says the influence you wield is powerful with the ability to frame political discourse and influence public opinion, making it imperative that this power is exercised with the utmost responsibility and ethical rigor. All right. So the president of the GG, Albert Kwabena Jumfo, paid tribute to some pioneers of the association who made invaluable sacrifices to bring it thus far. They included TB Oti, Tom Dokenu, Sam Morris, Martin Tessin Kofi, Henry Ofori, Carl Reindorf, Regina Adai, and Erica Jololo, saying the association had gone through many phases and surmounted many challenges. He also acknowledged his predecessors, Cabral Bliamie, Gifty Afenyidazi, Ajoy Buafari, Nana Kweku Deno in private life as Ransford Tete, and Roland Afelmoni. And he said, unlike the persecution faced by the pioneers of the profession, including the pains of imprisonment and human rights violations, today the media face prosecution from inimical laws that criminalize freedom of speech and expression, as well as assault, which is a deviation from the rule of law. He said, in recent times, journalists and media outlets have been targeted by political hoodlums while on assignment. He says the GJ has no choice but to take aggressive action to combat this breach of media rights. We were forced to blacklist 2 important political figures whose followers attacked journalists who were performing their routine duties. And there was no way Sir Sam Jonah would have ended his speech without speaking about Galamsey. Now, he has expressed concern over what he perceives as a decline in media coverage of illegal mining activities commonly known as Galamsey. And he lamented the lack of attention from the media despite the significant harm and destruction caused by illegal mining activities to the livelihoods of Ghanaians and society as a whole. And he expressed his lack of confidence in the media reportage of such a serious issue of national interest. Quote, I wish I could be confident that the coverage will be professional, but I'm afraid I can't. Given the large and serious way in which another important national issue, the most egregious abuse of the rights of millions whose livelihood has been decimated completely by Galamsey operations has been treated by your profession. I don't know whether you are exhausted and indeed frustrated by the shameful lack of decisive action from the authorities to your interventions. All I know is that your association's pen, which is your weapon, has gone eerily silent on this all-important matter. I'd have liked to see a more concerted and sustained action from you. Sadly, that has not been the case. Galamsey doesn't make the headlines anymore, and yet the country is experiencing the ravages of this terrible phenomenon every day. He also bemoaned the health implications and complications Galamsey has caused and continues to prevail despite the results being glaring. Says the alarming increase in children born with deformities, the epidemic of kidney and liver diseases, and the alarming mortality rates in the areas affected by Galamsey activities appear not to merit your sustained concern. What a shame. What a pity. As journalists, the times we live in beckon you to remember your purpose, power, and your responsibility. The price of the continuous silence is too grave to fathom. Doc.
First of all, let me also wish journalism a 75th birthday, or shall I say anniversary. And let me add that media relations, media work in this country cannot be discounted. It's very, very important for governance in terms of bringing information of how government business is proceeding to the general public, and then also even taking the sentiments and the situational reports on the ground to presidency. So I think both both highways are very important. Bringing information from government to the people, and then from the people to government, because I can boldly say that what we do here is even watched by many policy makers and influence also some of the decisions they make or take. I can cite, for instance, one clear thing that was coming to my mind today as I was coming here, the Medina overhead. You know, when people were so upset after a death of a pedestrian, within the space of about 6 weeks, the outrage and how media covered the story got that pedestrian walk done. I was thinking about this because La Paz has a similar issue. I don't know if you drive through that part.
Yes.
people. I'm wondering what will happen that will trigger that over what should I call it? that pedestrian walk to be done.
Yeah.
Because it beats my mind why we are this way in Ghana. I was recently somewhere else where I think people walk over pedestrian crossing maybe once a week, but it's done because they don't want people to die, and I'm wondering, we have a clear case of a need, but we haven't done it. Anyways, so Sam Jonah, says it very well, but there's one challenge I'll throw to the media houses. As we sit here today, I'm wondering who is a journalist with expertise in energy.
There are.
I'm wondering. What I mean is that I'm not sold on it. And I would also ask, who's a journalist with expertise in education?
Something has happened.
Or health.
Something has happened to journalism over the years.
Yeah.
Now, just like many other places across the globe, journalism is becoming also a second-order activity, meaning that you have people who have a base,
correct,
a professional base, who have moved into journalism or are into journalism and have decided to study in other areas. So you have that increasing number. Okay. And even with the journalism schools, you now have a lot of specialized areas.
We need more.
Yeah, yes, obviously. Yeah. Where it is no longer maybe you just took a course in something, but there's a whole program. So it's been changing. And you even if you even leave the print and you even take the broadcast media, and you even decide to profile some of the key people, you would find out that for many of them, broadcast journalism is a second-order activity.
I mean, if you take your friend Kafui, for instance, I've seen him on Galamsey Matters a lot. I wouldn't say that he's a mining journalist.
Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I'm only throwing that.
There are media persons who specialize in those spaces. There are some who have a background, a professional background in those areas, and there are people who have also decided to focus and specialize in those areas.
But when we come to general work,
but of course we need more,
because I'm worried that when there's like when it comes to vehicular accidents,
yes,
those who do the reports, sometimes you know how it goes, and the images they have to show not show. The editorial work related to some of these
That's
things.
Training. It's training. Well, what is ethical and what is not ethical?
So it comes to my point
the
that
biggest problem, I get you. The biggest problem, yesterday we were discussing it. I think the biggest problem, apart from the issue of remuneration, the biggest problem with the media has to do with training and retraining. So I say that I entered journalism with talent.
Yeah, naturally.
You understand me? With talent. And so the 27 or 28 years ago when I entered, it was with talent.
Yeah.
I didn't have a degree.
Correct.
Today I have many.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's because I saw the need to develop myself. And I say this that for the 3 media houses that I've worked for in my career, none of them has even sent me to a 1-hour workshop. None. But it has to do with my quest for personal development.
Personal
to get to wherever by the grace of God I am. You understand me? So the issue of training and development and retraining is a big issue. So people have the passion. And if you even come to vernacular, people are eloquent. Even if it's English, people are eloquent, they have a passion. They need to do something. So they are given the opportunity, and that's it. They will even do it for free. And that's it. Yes, nothing, and that's it. And they can stay like that for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years.
And
we these are people who are expected to deal with a lot of issues. Because you see, there are 2 pathways of becoming a journalist. Either you go to through school or you are trained.
Yeah.
And it's accepted.
Or you're beautiful.
No. You either are trained by
practice, you can join.
That's what I'm saying. That's by training. Yes. So, let's say for those who, and it's unfortunate, let me use myself as an example. For those I started with, those who finished journalism school straight, they immediately became members of the GJ. In fact, they were even student members. And then when they completed, they became members. I had to be trained for 5 years. And then a person like Mr. Edward Fachi, who was then a senior member of fraternity, had to then recommend that indeed I'd been through training. He's been the one who's mentored and done and all that, and he can attest to that and all that. So if you don't go through school, it takes you 5 years to get the membership of GJ. So you could come through school or you could come through training.
Yeah.
Whichever way, whether the person came through school or came through training, training and development is non-negotiable.
It's a personal...
it's non-negotiable. Yeah. And the media landscape has been changing. It keeps changing, just like any sphere of our life.
Yeah.
It keeps changing. And early we realized that a lot of the media houses, they had taken journalism as a second-order activity. So what do I mean? Maybe you're a medical doctor.
Yeah.
They'll prefer a person like you and train you as far as journalism is concerned. And believe that in that area, you will do a better job than somebody else.
It makes sense.
So somebody has a law background, somebody has an engineering background, somebody has this background, somebody has that background. There are those who also start from journalism and they go specialize in other areas and all that.
Correct.
So it's
to conclude, I would love to see parliamentary affairs journalists who understand parliamentary work, and when they are reporting on the activities in Parliament, they don't go off.
You have some.
Well, I mean...
You have some, but this is a good example. So, for example...
Or judiciary.
For example, there is a parliamentary press corps.
Correct.
There's a presidential press corps. I don't know about judiciary. But for example, if you take the parliamentary press corps, there's a parliamentary service board, for example. And I'm not taking away the responsibility of media owners or media institutions. But for example, to also enhance the work of Parliament, does the Parliamentary Service Board also have a training and development program for those who are part of the Parliamentary Press Corps? To, for example, take them through standing orders, Hansard, what this means, what that means.
Because I think it would enrich what we give Ghanaians. And I think that, I mean, the material or the content that would come out of Parliament will be much better. And in fact, how people digest information from Parliament. So that is my humble plea to journalism, that I think that, and like I said, sometimes when there's carnage on the street and how it's reported, it's so bad, or even a case of, rape, and how they don't consider the victim, So I really think that we need to step up our game, and those who try to report on everything also need to be careful. In one bit, he's in a sports stadium. The next time you see him in an accident situation, and that doesn't help. So I'm only making a plea, and I must be very happy about how some journal also picked on a very important matter, which is the genetic disorders associated with mining.
Yes.
I mean, I think he's shown that he knows his facts, and I really think that we should not take it for granted. This is something that is going to worry our country.
I interviewed the professor who did the research on this at KNUST, Dr. Sampani. I interviewed him on this program.
And that also means that you need to play that interview again. So I mean, these are things that I think that journalism ought to, and then we need to also stop focusing on only the bad things. I beg you, in the sense that there are many positives as well. Journalism is not only bad events or reporting bad events so quick. I watch a lot of programs elsewhere, and there are good things that journalists also report on. But we seem to now pride ourselves too much in maybe 80% in Yemankoye than tilting it a little
if I
bit.
give you, if I run you through a little
and I'm
exercise,
not saying,
if I run you through a little exercise this morning, you would realize that the opposite of what you are saying is the case. And that little exercise will be just the newspapers here.
Okay.
We run through their front pages, and you will see the number of stories that are positive as against the number of stories that are negative.
Well, but what is glaring? What is glaring is when there's a glitch, we will hound that story 30 hours.
Maybe you know why? Because they say one bad nut
spoils the whole thing. So I'm only pleading. This is just my humble plea that that there are many positives. Journalism should look into that. One gaffe then becomes like the mainstay for several hours. But let me take my hats off for all media people. You're a very huge part in governance and cannot be discounted. And some wars have started because of media engagement. And it means that your words do matter, and you can either be a solution or a contributory factor to conflict.
True.
And I think that I want and I wish to see the media grow and do better for Ghanaians, because what you say matters in many homes. Thank you.
All right. Okay. We'll be back shortly.
Fortune rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bi pe, emu no nkeka mu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede, ma emu eduane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi enkrato yatum.
This is a call to you. The dreamers. The ones that see no boundaries.
Dreamers take a chance.
The explorers that chart their own path.
Unlock the vibes, connect the energy.
The ones that dare to challenge the status quo.
Get connected, feel the
When others try to think outside the box, you wonder, what box?
Catch the wave, enjoy the ride.
To the architects of their journeys. Every connection is an opportunity to explore every experience. This is your call to adventure. Your journey begins here. Be bold, be daring, be free. Connecting passions, connecting dreams, connecting ambitions. Telecel, connecting energies.
Vital has sachets and in different sizes too. You didn't know? These Vital sachets that we all use to fry our meat and fishes, to prepare our favorite meals, and to refill our empty original Vital bottles. Hey! Are you sure you are a fellow Ghanaian?
Get your trusted Vital sachets today for affordability, convenience, and for the refilling of your original Vital bottle.
Vital, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
Prepare bantama.
My chest.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Ile kosen.
Cal 360 did the way. Its cool mint gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Rise and shine. It's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Watch is Friday,
it's still on point.
For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast,
it's still on point.
It's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
It's still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Mama, Papa is walking the wall.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Eh, baby, a son of a beer. And so, Yari, Simi Sapa, a dump Yari.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And still with me on the show, I have Dr. Dixon Adomaku Kisi and Yarobroja Jemfi. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I was got the Mola, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some moolah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority. It is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, that could somewhat down be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for about 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128190 or 055 001 0000. Roger, let me hear you on GJ at 75.
Yes, look, congratulations to GJ and congratulations to you too.
I have to go and I have to go and pay my dues. So.
You have a 75 years of GJ. I think they have done quite well by sustaining the association at least for the 75 years. But I think there is more that the GJ can do. I admire some new energy that has been put into GJ recently by your new president,
Albert.
And I think it's commendable. But there's more room for improvement. A lot of things that needs to be done. And I agree with Honorable Doc on many of the issues that he raised about media specializing in a particular area, professionalism, and all that must be encouraged. And if you see how the media landscape is moving now, there are a lot of politicians getting involved who may not so much interested in the profit of it, just for political gains.
Well, yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but there's Eric Ahianyo, who's a journalist. Okay, he sent me this. He says this Parliament and the judiciary do constant training, so they always insist we keep permanent correspondence for institutional memory.
Okay, good. And it's not surprising because I monitor the media landscape and I see that those who do, who have like specific reporting routine, like parliamentary reporters, court reporters, you see some level of consistency in terms of what they report because they are guided by the ethics even of the institutions that they report from.
So there's this other interesting one, which is from the chair of the Parliamentary Press Corps, Simon. Okay. It says, your take on the Parliamentary Press Corps is absolutely right. The old standing orders didn't take into consideration the work of the Parliamentary Press Corps. As it is now, the press only have access to 2 committees, the Appointments Committee as well as the Public Accounts Committee. However, the revised standing orders has made room for the press to access committee meetings, but the leadership is yet to give us a green light to that effect. Until that is done, the press corps will only report what happens on the floor of the House.
Okay, so there's a lot that can be done. But look, Sir Jonah raised, very important issues.
Yesterday, I was asking whether his speech was going to be a boom or a bam. But I think this is a boom bam.
It satisfied both. Yes, I many times I listened to his lectures, and you could see that he's more detailed. He deals with the issues, and for me, he confronts the issues. He does not seem to dilly-dally or dance around the issues. He just confronts the issues and deliver it. And if I would entreat every media personality to look for the speech and read it. At least many of the online.
Let me read an extract to you. And I think this is where he speaks about fearless journalism and all this. He says, as we approach the forthcoming elections, let your pens and voices forge a narrative of peace, fairness, and democracy. The sad saga of Sal, the killing of innocent voters at Techiman, and the unprecedented electoral violence at Ayawaso will remain a scar on our collective conscience. We must all resolve that these unfortunate chapters in our more recent history will never be repeated. You should endeavor to be the bridge over troubled waters, ensuring that every Ghanaian, irrespective of political allegiance, finds solace and strength in the truth.
Yes, straight to the point. Just hit the nail where it's supposed to be. And so, Doc, I think that the media must grow. And it appears that we came from a certain historical background that we were not so much excited about. And we were growing. And all of a sudden, we appear to be now going back to the dark days as it was described in the past. And so it is important that the media become fearless, because it is the fourth...
fearless but not reckless.
Yes, fearless but not reckless. But you see, they must also be guided by the laws that we have in the country. Yes. And so if you are reckless, there are laws that will deal with you. You understand? Because the same constitution that establishes press freedom and then independence of the media is the same constitution that abhors
the recklessness,
defamation, and all of that. So it's important that the media operates within that legal space. But look, if I read a paper which was published by the Media Foundation for West Africa,
yes,
and if you check the trajectory, the title of that article that they published was "The Media and Press Freedom in Ghana: From Repression, Redemption to Depression."
Repression, redemption to depression. Yeah.
And that, for me, captures the narrative, what actually exists now. Now, if you check our press freedom index, we are going off the roof. I think it's 63, 2023. We are 63rd in the entire country, when we're doing below the 30s. In I think 2015, 2016, we're below 30. Now 63. Why? Because of the many issues that have confronted the media. They report of about 30 violent attacks on the media, some by security persons, some by politicians or political parties.
In studio
attacks. Many things. And all of these, they keep track of it. And when the world is reporting, it reflects in it and gives us a bad name. These are things that, for me, cows the media also into submission. So when Sir Jonah talks about they being fearless and bold, then you have to look at it from some of the repercussions from actions that have been taken. Anas has been doing this work for many years. We have known Anas. He has attacked public officers. He has attacked institutions. He has attacked hospitals. When I say attack, I mean that he has gone into their operations and revealed rots that have gone on there.
Customs.
And all of these times we were praising Anas, until he decided to touch the tail of a lion. Yes. Then now Anas become the devil of the country. Destroy his reputation, attack his agents, which led to the death of Ahmed Swale. So all of these things are affecting journalism in the country, and we must begin to talk about it. You cannot abduct media persons merely because they talk about the First Lady. It's become a taboo to talk about the First Lady these days. Bobi Ansan, when he spoke about the lands at La, behind the trade fair, which belongs to, I think, was it the Ghana Airport Company or one of the companies, which they were distributed. He spoke about the First Lady's involvement, then he was arrested. Recently, this social media guy, Bongo Ideas or so, he wrote something, no matter how palatable it is, you don't abduct such a young man and subject him to beating and torture for almost 24 hours. And nobody says anything about it. So all of these things cows the media, and people think that there's no one to protect them. So there are things that they will not say, and it's become a norm now that even the media will call you and say, Charlie, you see this thing here, you people, you have to talk about it. Making it look like it is the responsibility of the opposition to keep government in check, forgetting that the media also has a role to play. But they think that when they do that, they will be attacked. I went to a media house recently, and this issue about Doomso, I said, you don't talk about the Doomso. I said, we talk about what's on the front page of the newspaper. If you go and bring another thing, they will say you have an agenda. And they don't want to be seen as pushing a certain agenda. So if the media reports, the newspapers report, then they are going to talk about it. But if the newspapers do not, then they think that they cannot go into it. These are all some of the fears.
They're in a wrong job.
The fears that, but Doc, you see,
I'm not discounting fears, but I'm saying that
Doc,
they are in the...
your experience, your knowledge build up, the confidence you have. It's not that everybody has.
True.
So,
I mean, it's a risk you take every day.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a risk you take every day.
So they will look out for the weaker ones, and then when you are attacked, it means that all those who are threatened by that will not report accurately and deal with the issues as it is. And on Galamsey, too, the media has virtually gone quiet.
For
me, it's like it's fatigue.
Yeah, he himself acknowledged it. But he says that there's a part he says, okay. I'm trying to echo. He says, I don't know whether you are exhausted and indeed frustrated by the shameful lack of decisive action from authorities to your interventions.
Yes.
This year, have you heard of any Galamsey operation? This year?
No.
Have you seen the reports of and the pictures and videos of the
river bodies?
The river bodies.
Yeah. It's going brown again. Or chocolate, if you want to describe it that way.
Nobody is going after anybody.
It's an election year.
Nobody is doing anything.
Party here, Sika.
Nobody is doing anything.
And a lot of party people are involved in this. This community mining they introduced is populated by party
the president told
people.
Us that he was prepared.
He was prepared to put his...
The
president has never meant anything he says. This president has been very disappointing. There are many people...
We're talking about media house.
There are many people... Yes, and talking about Galamsey, which he put his presidency on.
We're talking about media house.
And has to do with Galamsey.
So
the president, for me, has been very disappointing. And I'm not surprised that many people who watch for him, including men of God, have begun to...
I don't know if the implications of Galamsey are not that known to our people, or we don't care, or for those of us who sit in Accra, we think that it is so far from us. To be honest.
No.
Maybe. To be honest, I'm telling you.
Maybe.
To be honest, because in the next 10 years, maybe earlier, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, what's going to happen to this country as a result of these activities? You forget about even we can put the issue of the cocoa thing down.
It's affected our production.
Yeah, production and all that. I don't think that's the main reason, although it's a key reason.
I
think there are many other reasons, you know. But
incompetence is part
the health implications, the implications of even access to water.
Yes.
Drinkable water.
Yes.
Drinkable water.
For this country.
Yes.
How this thing will affect our very existence.
How they are destroying our forest reserves.
Already Ghana water.
How they are destroying our forest reserves.
Well, look, every year we say we are doing Green Ghana. We are going to plant 10 million trees, 5 million trees. We are spending money.
10 million trees for 33 million.
We are spending money to do those things. Meanwhile, whilst we are planting, we are allowing
people
a decimation. And you fetching water with a basket.
Look, it's very, very bad. It's very bad.
And everybody, I'm sure that even people like Erasmus Asaredonko, he should be fatigued by now.
He should be fatigued, yes.
He should be fatigued by now.
He should.
Because this is a person who put his life
on the line.
Yes. He and many other people will fall. I'm sure that even Dr. Kenashigbe and Engineer Kenashigbe and all of them, I'm sure that there's even a certain level of fatigue.
Yes, but you know that they initiated
I'm saying the enthusiasm, especially when the president embraced it.
Exactly.
The enthusiasm, the belief that yes, they were going to get some positive, monumental difference made as far as illegal mining is concerned. I wonder how all of them feel now. And I'm sure that all of them perhaps now have...
you do it because it comes back to the conduct of the president. You can't take the president out of this. When the president is asked about a particular mining company, and the president of Ghana decides to defend a private company.
I mean, my point is
that he has no interest in.
You see, for the president to launch a crusade and to make a statement to the effect that he was prepared to put his presidency on the line, first of all, for me, demonstrated the president's belief that that particular war required the leadership of the president.
Exactly.
That particular war also had
the presidential backing.
That particular war had the tendency of ruffling and angering and creating a lot of negative things about your political office and your continuity in office. But he was ready, looking at the greater good, for the country. He was ready to make sure that he will save the country from that particular calamity.
Even if it will cost him the presidency. And what has happened? So, look, it's very worrying the way we have treated the Frimpong Boateng report. This was... yes, very important because it helps us to deal with the issue, to go to the roots of the issue, the persons who are involved. Because the reason why we are unable to fight it is because of the persons involved. If these are people who sit in places of power, authority, how do you then deal with it? There's a Bob Marley song that the
MP for a line. Annie, please look for this for me. The Honorable Neil. Yes, it says, I hope you've heard the Western Regional Minister saying that the government has stopped all the anti-Galamsey operations. The government is no longer interested in stopping Galamsey. We'll look for this. We'll look for this, Honorable. We'll look for it.
So the point I was making, if Bob Marley has a song, I don't know if it's Bob Marley or Lucky Dube, one of them, he says, how can they protect you when they themselves are the bad boys? So if you think that this need to be confronted with, and persons who are in authority are those who are doing it, these are the same people who deploy the military. These are the same people who deploy the police. If you don't adopt this Frimpong Boateng report, it will haunt us. Because he was an insider. In fact, he was a chair of the interministerial committee. So his account should be a guiding tool for us going forward. But the presidency issued a statement and said
you
this
realize
was
that I just said that
innuendos.
I just said that I interviewed Professor Sampini.
Correct.
Who did he's my friend. Now, I have this from a colleague of his in academia. He says the issues are so varied. My friend and colleague, Professor Sampini, has left the country with his entire family because he's so tired of this Galamsey fight. He's now with a university teaching hospital in Canada.
Wow.
You know, I just referred to
Yes,
him.
you just spoke about him.
That's him. That was the interview we did, the Zoom interview. That's Professor Sampini. I've just been told that he's left.
Look, your government, you are on your way out, but it doesn't mean that the 8 months left, your mandate has been taken from you. You still can do something. This is an election.
We are not on our way out.
You're on your way out. You are out already.
We intend to.
Your hope is how to skew the process and see if you can survive it.
Let's do this quickly. Our former first representative government in nation's history, Alan pledges, and Dixon Wolanyo Doche reports that the founder and leader of the movement for change, M4C, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, has pledged to lead a government that represents all segments of the country if elected as president in the upcoming presidential election. He said the divisiveness in the country's politics, driven by the duopoly of the ruling NPP and the main opposition NDC, was the major destabilizing factor of Ghana's progress. Therefore, to overcome this, Mr. Kyerematen said there was an urgent and critical need for a new political system that eliminated the current winner-takes-all system, ensure the continuity of the execution of government projects, and avoided arrogance associated with political power and influence. Quote, a government of national unity made up of representatives from different political parties, the business community, labor unions, civil society, professional bodies, faith-based organizations, traditional authorities, and other interest groups, including traders, farmers, fishermen, and artisans, amongst others. And he was speaking at the launch of the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, ARC, an amalgamation of political groups whose primary purpose is to topple the nation's political duopoly and offer Ghanaians an alternative government. It is made up of the Movement for Change, the National Interest Movement, the Ghana Green Party, the Third Force Movement, the Non-Alliance Voters Association of Ghana, the Ghana First Coalition, the Union Movement, the Crusaders Against Corruption Ghana National Party, among others. And as part of the launch, the groups signed a memorandum of understanding to legalize the new pact. Prior to the signing, the leaders of the various groups took turns to share their vision and pledge their unalloyed support for the new political entity. And Mr. Kyerematen, who is the leader of the ARC, also promised to revive the nation's economy with a 6-point agenda, of which building a united government was one. Said he was usher in a new type of visionary, competent, accountable, transparent, action-oriented, results-driven, and compassionate leadership. Implement transformational policies and make the private sector the engine of growth. Says we also make young people and women the center of the country's national development agenda. Now, the leader of NIM, not the NIM tree, this is a national interest movement, Dr. Abu Sakara Foster, called on all to rally behind the new organization. Alliance, and he says, and vote for Mr. Kyerematen during the December polls because the ARC was the only entity that would prioritize the interests of all Ghanaians and not a selected few. And he also encouraged the youth in particular to vote for Mr. Kyerematen and described the alliance as a gift from the older generation to the youth. He says that the two dominant parties had led the country to the brink of socio-economic collapse, and the ARC was the only vehicle that could restore and reset the nation. Wesi Odike was also there, he spoke. And then Bishop Samuel Noymensa of the GFC also spoke.
Odike has joined the alliance.
Yes. Let me start over here.
Doc, but before I move on, just something on the Galamsey issue.
Yes.
Because many times when we talk about it, people ask, what's the solution? What's the alternative?
Yes.
Though you would realize we, NDC, in our 2020 manifesto, we came up with some novel ideas to deal with them. You remember that in the past, farmers...
I really find it interesting that you'd still go back to this.
Yeah. Farmers were.
Wait a minute. I usually
let me finish.
There are videos of some of your operatives encouraging people.
I'm telling you what the party position is.
So I was hoping you don't go.
No, I'm telling you what the party position
and
is.
You don't allow me to do that.
Anybody who goes contrary to that will be dealt with. But Doc, but this is important even for our discussion.
Okay.
In the past, farmers were engaged in illegal farming practices, and the country needed to confront it. What did we do? We brought these agri-colleges to train legmen who will be extension officers to help farmers so that they go by it. We also know about the fisheries industry. We have the fisheries college to deal with it. Luckily for us, we have the University of Mines and Technology, which now your government has renamed University for Power Grant or something. What our position in the NDC is that why can't we have mining extension officers who will be employed either by the ministry or the Minerals Commission so that they also help with persons who have secured mining rights or licenses to undertake, legal mining and go by legal practices. And so that's one of the things that John Mahama has promised to do. So once you put your seat on it, you failed, you are on your way out, John Mahama will come and implement it. Doc, Alan Chematin, honestly, I'm a bit surprised about how he's improving, day in and day out. From the mystery surrounding how he left the NPP, we thought that he could not make any inroads. But even if you check the some of the polls that have come out, you would see that he's picking up in less than a year. He went out of the NPP, I think in September or October, and he's doing quite well. And I think that political parties, all the political parties must begin to learn something from it in terms of organization, how to organize the people, how to go along. So I think he's doing well. I don't know to what extent he will upset the NPP in the December elections. But
he says he intends to upset both of you.
Oh, I've heard various scenarios that they have on their board. When you go to their war room, we have a lot of information from there. They have created various scenarios. How either they push the election to a runoff, and they will be the deciding factor, even if they are not second. Each of the political parties will be willing to have an alliance with them and all of. So that's the motivation with which they are working. So even though I don't know with the MPP how they will be able to upset them, but we know a lot of work we have done on the ground. We know that he has a lot. He has done a lot in the Ashanti region, and his feet is grounded well in the region. If you check the post that was published by Global Info Analytics, you realize that he was making some inroads in the Volta region. And for us, it's something that the NDC must look at. We will not underrate him, though we know that he is part of the 7 years at least failure of the NPP. He still carry a certain image as having gone away from the rot. And so if you are an opposition party and you underrate him, he can be able to pick some of the votes that would genuinely or normally would have come to the NDC. So we are not underrating what he is doing. We are closely monitoring him, and we'll make sure that he stays in the Ashanti region. His growth will not extend to any other place. But his ability to attract other political personalities onto his movement is commendable. How he got Dr. Abu Sakara to join hands with him. I was surprised that you said ODK also went with him. I think it's all well and good. For us, he wants MPP out. We also want MPP out.
Because he wants both of you out.
we are not in. It's MPP that is in. So he wants MPP out. We also want MPP out. So it's good for Ghana that MPP is out. And we are all going to make sure that MPP will be out.
Look,
I'm saddened by the departure of this professor to Canada. But I must say, I appreciate what he must have gone through to finally decide to exit. And I know no amount of words will probably bring him back at this point in time. At that level, when you make that decision, it's a never again thing, and I'm troubled. I really think that the Galamsey issue is Ghana's drug problem. I'm talking about like Mexico dealing with drugs. Our drug problem is the Galamsey, in the sense that these extension officers you're talking about, if you don't empower them well, they would end up in bed with the Galamseyers, and really, you'd achieve almost nothing.
Yeah, but we have a comprehensive.
Well, I'm just saying because in the Americas, those who go after the drug cartels, they are paid very well, so that they are not enticed, and they are very well trained. So I'm just adding that even if you want to do Galamsey extension officers, if you don't equip them well, if you don't empower them well, they might even end up doing worse to the environment than the current crop of people. So I'm only making that case that our narrative about Galamsey, our thinking, definitely has to change, in the sense that one, there are already enough jobs, and some of these young guys get in there because there are no jobs, and I think that as a country, we ought to really pay careful attention to this, because this truly is now something that is with us, a cancer of some sort with us, and if we don't approach it carefully, it would take us. It is actually taking us by surprise. I think as I have drawn closer, I've come to appreciate the extent to which this is really affecting our fabric as a society, and as Doc rightly said, the health implications in the next decade will be shocking, and it's unfortunate. Elsewhere, one incident of birth defect would have, drawn significant, monumental attention to the area and to the sector. And that is why I say that there must be something wrong with us. Because I listen, let me be very specific. I was in California recently, and like I said, the walkways, bridges that people use once maybe in a month, but they've done it, for pedestrians, so that they don't get hit by a car. And I'm driving through La Paz every day, and I see the huge number of people who cross. And I'm asking myself, my brother hates it when I say this. I'm asking myself, because
credit Trini Jonas.
Doc, what is it? What is it? What is it? And
greed.
No.
Greed.
I think our system of thinking,
greed,
our system of addressing issues need to be changed. Doc, I usually, the white man too is greedy. They are.
Our level of greed.
But they do some things. There's some basic things.
You see, our level of greed, and the fact that it looks like,
because this
as a people,
it's not by coincidence.
It's either that if our favorites are doing wrong,
yes,
or people that we like, or people that we are linked to are doing wrong, we can look on sheepishly.
Yes.
If there are others on the opposite side, that is where our senses
are awoken.
And we can do all the things we can. Because, let me tell you something. If you go and queue in the sun, and you give people the opportunity to superintend over their affairs, over your affairs, and they do things on the basis of promises they've made to you, the articulation of what the problems are, which you agree with,
the
solutions that they proffer, and how they make the solutions look like they are no-brainers.
Simple.
And therefore, whoever is in charge or was in charge was daft and stupid, or incompetent or whatever. And you give them the opportunity, and they behave in ways that they behave, and you are unable
to question them,
and let them appreciate that. Look, what you have done is sacrilegious. What you have done cannot be countenanced.
Yeah.
They will continue to do worse.
Well, so my point.
They will continue to do worse.
Is that I worry, and this is not me talking in a partisan way, but I think that in general we have a big problem, and I mean La Paz is not my constituency, and even in my constituency I have a school.
If we can't deal with, if we can't deal with Galamsey, what can we deal with? If we are telling ourselves that we don't, I mean, we're speaking about terrorism, and we've had how many conferences? How many regional leaders come into Ghana? We speak about terrorism. We meet Parliament. I'm sure that you were part of those meetings. We meet Parliament. We tell them about the terrorism threats. How much money this country needs to deal with terrorism. You cannot deal with Galamsey.
Can you deal with terrorism?
And you can deal with terrorism. I mean, what are we saying? We can't deal with Galamsey. What can we deal with? What can we deal with? And we all know why we can't deal with Galamsey.
Yes.
We all know.
So I think today you should play your video again with this interview you had. I would like to watch it because, especially now that the professor has left the country.
When I sign off, I would ask Annie. Once immediately I sign off, I'll call for that video. And that's what I'll sign off with, because the Minerals Commission, we're not having that interview today. So yes, in lieu of that, I'll play the interview with
the health implications, without a doubt, begs the question of what we are handing on over to the next generation, and I think that is far more important than any amount of money we make or will be making from Galamsey. But literally, we definitely have a lot of work to do. But I'm really down by hearing anytime we have people leave the country. I am pained by it, and I hope others do not follow suit, including even myself as I speak, because I think that our minds were made for this country, and I believe that we ought to be able to apply it to our fellow Ghanaians and to solve our problems locally, and we excel in the world. I mean, listen, we've sat in class with these Oyibos, we excel. So why can't we do it here on our own soil? But
greed.
Greed is one factor, but I think that we have to be a bit more ingenious to solve some of these issues, not necessarily monetary.
Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that we don't know the solutions and we don't have them? You believe that?
No, the will. The will is also another thing.
I mean, and what
we
is
even
it?
have laws that deals with it.
What is it that prevents us?
We need some political will. And
so what is it that prevents us? And I'm saying that, you see, it is the appreciation of the need for a political will to deal with the situation. Which got the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to launch a presidential crusade and to make a statement to the effect that he was prepared to put his presidency on the line. It's in appreciation of the fact that to deal with that you needed a political will.
Exactly.
But the will is not in.
And as the program on Asempa says, and
yes, because if he really meant well, how dare you, Forestry Commission, to grant people access into the forest?
I think that there are many aspects of
cut trees and mine and degrade the area.
Yeah,
it's quite worrying,
but we'll continue to fight on. That's all we have to do.
You have just 8 months to change.
As a free Andrea says that it's campaign financing.
A party yeska. That's what it is. Party yeska.
We need a master. We need a master. We need a master.
You have a daughter.
Yes.
How many daughters you have?
3.
3.
Yes.
Okay. So.
But Doc, you didn't say anything about Alan.
Your are they all home?
Yes. Great. One is in school, but all of them are home.
All of them are home.
Gracie was on TV.
Okay. So I've just seen a picture.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on set, I've seen a picture. Somebody in your household. I sent you. Watch this.
Yeah, that's Gracie.
Watch
this. Wow.
Yes, and this picture came with a caption. Daddy, I'm hugging you.
Oh.
Yes. So this happened whilst we were about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So that's your daughter.
Yes.
What's her name? Grace. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
hugging
nice.
Daddy.
He's hugging Daddy on TV.
Whoa. Thanks.
That's beautiful.
At least my time away from home, I can make a case.
Exactly.
This is really beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that when all of us go home, our kids ask us about the things we say. And whether
because they watch us.
Yes, whether we're really serious about the things that. Anyway, so Grace, good morning. Good morning.
Thank you.
That will be with you soon. Anyway, so we'll leave it here, and for our viewers, we will not have our conversation with the Media Commission today. We'll be back next Thursday with that one. But I'll leave you.
Tomorrow,
yes.
Tomorrow is the funeral of the NDC, the father of the NDC's Deputy Director for International Affairs, Mame Fua.
Oh,
had that passed?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So tomorrow is the funeral.
Oh, my commiserations.
Yeah. So we'll be there tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. My commiserations, Mame Fua. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, she's around.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with my interview with Professor Osei Sampini, who had this research work on galamsey, and we're told by his colleague in academia that, look, he's so frustrated, he's left with his entire family to a university teaching hospital in Canada. Okay. He's a pathologist.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a pathologist.
He's a pathologist.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Randy, and my greetings to Honorable Ablakwa and then Honorable Nana Kumia, and all your viewers and listeners. What happens is that, in fact, I was misquoted. I never said that their placentas are destroyed before they get married.
Okay.
I never said that. Placenta, one time, is one time case. For instance, if a woman is pregnant, the placenta is the thing that seems to sort of feed or communicate with the mother in terms of feeding, in terms of excretion, in terms of whatever. So the placenta comes in once in a while once the mother is pregnant. And so the placenta is not a permanent thing that stays in the woman. It comes in when the woman is pregnant. So I never said that. And I didn't say that all the children born in, galamsey areas are deformed. But what I did say was that the placenta is a tissue or group of cells or group of tissues which is highly vascularized. What it means is that it has a lot of blood vessels, blood supply in it. And so it transmits food. I'm talking about quality food, refined oxygen and everything to the mother. So to the fetus. So when that thing is contaminated in the way it has been intoxicated around those galamsey areas, that is where the problem comes in. Then it can go a long way to sort of interrupt with the normal growth of these babies, interrupt with the normal differentiation of these babies, and that is what I saw at those galamsey areas when the mothers happened to die, and then I needed to sort of, as it were, remove the babies so as to be able to bury them separately from the mother. That is exactly what happened.
So what did you observe? You are a pathologist, and so when this woman died, you would have to do your work. You take the babies out. So what did you observe? What did you see?
Well, what I did see, and this one, what I will call is not a full-scale research. It's rather case study. Okay. And in the case study, what we do is that if you pick a case of such magnitude, and then you look at it, and the baby is totally deformed. No genitalia. What it means is that there are no sex organs. You cannot differentiate whether a male or female. The eye is not well formed. Eyes, as we know, is supposed to be two. But in this sense, you can get a very big eye formed in the middle of the forehead. The legs formed, deformed sometimes. Well, thank you so much, Randy, and my greetings to Honorable Ablakwa and then Honorable Nana Kumia, and all your viewers and listeners. What happens is that, in fact, I was misquoted. I never said that their placentas are destroyed before they get married. Okay. I never said that. Placenta, one time, is one time case. For instance, if a woman is pregnant, the placenta is the thing that seems to sort of feed or communicate with the mother in terms of feeding, in terms of excretion, in terms.
The Bible is not a textbook like chemistry textbook. It's a spirit. There are no controversies. Righteousness is defined by God. What he says you are is what you are. There's no teaching in the scriptures that will be left untaught.
Join the Good Life Devotion with Dr. David Bindon on this channel to receive biblically authoritative teachings which will usher you into exhibiting the divine life here on earth. The Good Life Devotion shows every Monday to Friday from 11 to 11:30 p.m. Don't miss the special weekend edition on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 p.m. Life is good. Enjoy.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama no pepepe. Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks use of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkekamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tiano pepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Dana mo ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi enkratuo yatum.
Righteousness is defined by God. What he says you are is what you are. There's no teaching in the scriptures that will be left untaught.
Join the Good Life Devotion with Dr. David Findon on this channel to receive biblically authoritative teachings which will usher you into exhibiting the divine life here on earth. The Good Life Devotion shows every Monday to Friday from 11 to 11:30 p.m. Don't miss the special weekend edition on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 p.m. Life is good. Enjoy.
In the breeze with one of the greatest eminent artists we have in Ghana, the world, the globe as a whole.
Keep watching MBC.
On our first segment, we're going to be looking at the honors, where we look at amazing African artists putting Africa on the map.
Hi guys, my name is Basiame and you're watching 20 Questions on MBC.
We are jetting off to our spunky new radio on MBC.
3, 2, 1.
Nobody find past you. No deal for where we do.
Watching MBC with Yoti.
Are you tired as a consumer in Ghana when it comes to issues that confront you as a consumer? Worry no more. Kofi Capito, I'm here to give you the information, all that you need to make sure that your right is protected as a consumer. We have too many laws and agencies that should protect the rights of the consumer. And I'm here to give you the information that will help and assist you to get goods and services delivered to you without any worries. Watch the Capito Show on Metro TV.
The next 30 days are coming with excitement. We bring you brand new shows from the craziest football fans, with ideas from the next generation.
Who is to say Gen Zs can't take leadership positions?
Enough to whet your appetite. For the energy to go around town, bring on your favorite song. That's what entertainment is about. TV is coming home.
They say art is a symbol because man is a symbol. Symbols are a depiction of life. They communicate the intangibles and leaves the mind awakened by the wonders of life. Our folkloric symbol show talks about our symbols in connection to our history, religion, and society's norms and traditions, from the north down to the south and in between.
The animal is called le. But because they are found on the hill out there. The name of the hill became Legon, which means when you go there, you get more of the leg to hunt or you take them as game.
Join us on our folkloric symbol show every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Metro TV.
More than 80% of global trade is carried and gets hit with a condition. On a daily basis, how do we check the body before health slips away? Living Well is the lifestyle series that will help you get tips to some health issues. My name is Ethel Poplampo. Join me every Saturday.
I know February, we are obviously bringing the crown home.
Okay, I was a little nervous, but it went well.
So, I would say it was the best experience.
And of course, Match is going to win. Like, hello.
The generation of trash happens from homes, industries, offices, schools, municipalities, and many other places. An exploration of these places is very important to understand the kind of trash being generated. In this season of Trash Talk, we will take you to the field to have a texture of what pertains around us. It will be a delight to join us. This and every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Metro TV as we engage experts, policymakers, and waste pickers on Trash Talk. Trash Talk, talking environment, changing behavior to change the world.
Hello food lovers, join me every week as we embark on a flavor-filled adventure with special guests from different African countries.
Today I bringing the taste of Egypt to your kitchen.
Without the garlic, we cannot.
No, nobody can eat this one.
I bet you're eating this alone. Hello, prepare your taste buds. I'm taking you to Guinea. I brought you fur de manioc. Fur de manioc. Oui, allez laver les mains. From the elite to the lower division, graced with the delectable flair of the women's game.
The John Boy of Ghana women's football.
Foul, Morris cross in, header from the Cameroonian,
and we remain dedicated, driven, custom built, bringing you all the action, thrills, interviews, conversations, and display of our smashing indigenous talent.
While expanding what the numbers and statistics see with permutations on fixtures, week after week.
Join me, Abigail Senasosu, from 7 September 2023 and every other Thursday at 6 p.m. on the beautiful game right here on Metro Television as we bring you a comprehensive and interactive preview and review of the Betswa Ghana Premier League, the Access Bank Division 1 League, and the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League. Remember, this is our league.